When you were here, you got flowers, girl. Anything new happening? Like, what's up? Are you guys still together or what?
Yes, actually, we,
All right. So, Myra, last time I saw you or even freaking talked to you
yeah,
was when you basically left here.
yeah.
So, first of all, how's the fit? How you liking your like hair and stuff? Did you go back and like kind of not like it or?
No, it was so when I went back home, I was just kind of following, Sean's advice about like, trying different products and stuff like that. And, I kind of feel like I found a combination that like works for me and that I feel comfortable with. And, in terms of just dressing like myself, I just kind of go with the flow and it's a process. I think, it's not all gonna, click right away, but it's so funny though, like when I showed up at work
Yeah.
after the haircut, like I didn't know what to expect. Like I didn't really know how people were gonna react, but like literally they're like it was either like complete excitement that like I looked great and also just kind of like they're like somehow you look more like yourself. Like I don't know how to
Yes.
explain
I know,
it.
it's true. I felt the same way when you did that. So people
Right.
received you well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it was just like it was really funny that like they were like, yeah, you somehow this is not surprising. Like you look like yourself. So I was like, all right, cool.
Cool.
Thanks.
So, how have you felt, you know, more confident within like in your physical appearance? Because I know that was something we kind of discussed. It's like you just never felt comfortable in how you were showing up.
Yeah, like it's crazy because like now like I actually enjoy like getting ready in the morning, like looking at, my hair in the mirror and stuff like that and like styling it and trying to see what works for me and like I never really enjoyed shopping before and now I kind of like it, you know what I mean?
I
And like all of those things that I never really enjoyed it, like all of a sudden now I'm just like, yeah, like let's do it. This sounds really fun.
Nice.
So yeah, it's definitely like a lot of new doors have opened for me and a lot of new experiences that way, like, that I was closed off to before because of being, shy and or just kind of like, not really myself. But now that I am myself, like I feel like, all these cool new things are, entering my life and I having a good time with it.
Awesome. So, when you were here, you got flowers, girl. Anything new happening? Like, what's up? Are you guys still together or what?
Yes, actually, we got engaged. So,
Engaged.
yeah.
Wow. All right. So how did that happen? Like, we're
Um, it was sort of, I mean, we had been talking about like our future and stuff like that because, we are who we are. You know what I mean? Um, and so like, I mean, just kind of like all of those things, about what it would look like and, because I have a son and she has two kids. And so there was like an ongoing conversation, but like she proposed to me. So yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Um, well, that's cool. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
very
Wow.
excited.
So many changes in such a short time.
I know it's crazy. I was not I mean I knew like we were like she was the one for me. It's just, I just didn't know that she was gonna ask me to marry her. Um yeah, so I mean it's all unfolding perfectly.
That it is
Yeah.
always, right? Always. I love that for you. Well, listen, I just wanted to check in here and just see how it was going. Like I know you've been busy probably because you're living it up in engaged life and
Yeah.
holidays and things like that. And I've just been thinking about you and that experience and how amazing it was. And yeah, I'm happy to hear that you're doing well.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I think when I first got the haircut and I made all of these changes, there was definitely an adjustment period where like, I think we talked about it beforehand before I even came to St. Pete that like there would be this like major high and then, like after that like you can expect like a bit of a crash. And I did experience that and um, navigating that was challenging, but like I think, you know, it becomes easier to navigate stuff like that when you're your authentic self, you know? Like when you show up as yourself and you're honest and you prioritize yourself, like I think stuff like that becomes easier to to overcome, you know. And of course I had Nicole by my side, so that really helped too. Um but definitely there's like this because I saw myself a certain way for my whole life, you know. I was like the ponytail was almost my signature, like so to speak. Like I just, you know, I've had that hairstyle for a long time. And now, you know, so it was almost like, you know, kind of saying goodbye to my old self.
Right.
And in a way, you know, there is some mourning to that, you know.
Yes.
And I think when you're going through a major change like that, like that it's so important to give yourself the space and the self-compassion to like allow yourself to grieve that, you know, that loss. But it's also like a good change, like, you know, coming into my own and coming in like, you know, being myself and, you know, finding my style, finding what works for me. Like all of that has been a process, but a fun process. So all that is good too.
Here's $1 million question. Are you gonna wear your suit to the wedding?
You know what? That's actually a really good idea. Or
I
maybe I
mean,
might go back and
that's
you
where
know,
people
get
go to
a
get
new
their
one.
wedding. Like that's
Yeah.
I would wear it. I'd be wearing it like to everything.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I like, yeah, absolutely. I think, you know, I might get another one from him just, you know, because he's just so great.
Yeah,
Mike's so great.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, like that is a really good idea. I love that suit so much. Um, well, first of all, thank you, Jamie, for everything. I couldn't have gotten to this point without you. I'm so glad I decided to reach out when I did. Because like I really was struggling to navigate that, you know, the whole internalized homophobia and like all of that stuff with like self-worth and self-esteem and just like, you know, like trying to authentically be myself, but like being afraid of how it's gonna look, you know what I mean? And like how it's gonna, you know, affect my life. But it like people surprise you at how supportive they can be, you
Yeah.
know? And you were right when you told me that story about the wedding that you went to and
Mhm.
like how like you were like, you know, we were worried that like what people were gonna say, but like people were like, "Oh, you look really good actually," you know? And I had the same experience and like I couldn't have done it without you. And I really appreciate everything. Um the whole experience at St. Pete was like like totally surreal. I think I really grew as a person and I feel a lot better in so many different ways. And, you know, just my life is just so much better because of all of this. So I just
Yeah.
want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for everything.
Awesome. Well, thank you too, because you trusted in me. And I had a great experience as well, and also grew as a person through this whole, all the challenges we faced. And that's what this is about, right? That's what coaching is about.